Hi, I'm Justin McLeod, Community Relations Coordinator for Roanoke City Public Schools. On this month's show, we'll give you an update on our Teachers for Tomorrow program. We'll tell you about a unique opportunity for our students involving the Science Museum of Western Virginia, and we'll give you a preview of James Madison's production of Shrek.
What's up, punk? Taking those books home for? They ain't gonna help you on the streets.
To study?
Yeah, man, you need to join our crew, aka the Cobra.
Yeah, ain't nobody messing with the Cobra.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to go to college.
Nah, man. I mean, we're just having some fun. Nobody in our gang gets caught anyway.
Well, I guess sure.
All right. Hey, look, Henry. If you're gonna keep rolling with us, you gotta prove to me that you can hang.
Okay.
All right, then. Go.
Henry, what are you doing?
Every year, over 7,000 arrests result from gang activity. You could end up just like these criminals. Is that what you want?
Don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution.
Our Teachers for Tomorrow program is growing by leaps and bounds, and here to talk about it today is Eddie Janey. She is the instructor of Teachers for Tomorrow, as well as Kathy Duncan. She is our Career and Technical Education Director. This is the 4th year for the program. Ms. Duncan, remind folks, what is Teachers for Tomorrow?
Teachers for Tomorrow is a program that can be 2 or 3 years for students in high school, and it prepares them to go into education as a career. And it was the brainstorm of Dr. Bishop and some of the school board members in hopes to one day grow our own teachers. Who better to come to teach for Roanoke City Public Schools than a graduate?
And these are high school students who are essentially learning to become teachers, right?
Correct. At varying levels. Maybe it's early childhood education, perhaps it's middle school or high school, perhaps in a daycare setting.
Ms. Janey, take it from there. What do they do? What are they doing in your class?
Well, we have all kinds of activities going on. We visit the TAP Head Start program once a week, and my students work with the same classroom, so they're really getting to build those student relationships and learn about classroom management. It's very different than reading about it, so they get to practice what we're learning in class. And we also visit the elementary schools, and the students provide one-on-one tutoring, remediation. They might lead the kids in a story time, read aloud, or some arts and crafts. So really getting a lot of good hands-on.
Great hands-on activities.
Yes.
The hands-on activities, why is it important, or how is it different from just reading in a book here in the classroom to actually then take what they learn and put it to good use in an elementary school or a TAP?
Well, one of the cadets told me just last week, she said, Miss Janey, you know, I used to think teaching was easy, and now I appreciate all the hard work and effort that goes into it, and, you know, I realize that you have to have patience, you know, and you might have to repeat yourself several times, and whatever you have plans, you can plan on it not going as planned. So they're really learning how to adjust and modify, and how to better interact with students from different populations, age groups.
Track the progress for us, Ms. Duncan. I mean, this gets bigger every year, right?
It does. It gets bigger every year. Currently, we've got 30 students. This is our 4th year. We have 4 graduates who have gone on to post-secondary education in hopes of becoming a teacher. And we are very gently keeping in contact with them. We don't want to force the issue or anything like that, but we're still very hopeful they're going to come back to Roanoke City Public Schools. And other students go into maybe being instructional assistants, early childhood education, as we said. This wonderful space that we're using as part of Virginia Western Community College's early childhood education program at the post-secondary level, and they've been kind enough to share space with us. So it has worked out tremendously.
And Ms. Janey, how do you balance sort of giving them a taste of the teaching profession, but also being honest with them that it's not easy being a teacher, I would imagine?
Right. Well, I've had them actually as part of our curriculum. They have each interviewed and talked with teachers and administrators from different schools to different positions to find out more about, you know, what it takes to go into the different areas of education. And then also, you know, we go on local college visits, look up the plans of study available, and I think they realize it's a challenge, but I would say they're excited and they're really taking great initiative.
And for those of us in education, it's more of a calling, isn't it, Miss Janie?
Yes.
And that calling, expand on that, because their students are interacting with these young ones, and to see them working together, it at least warms my heart. I mean, are they getting a lot out of it in terms of developing friendships and a good feeling knowing they're teaching younger ones?
Yes, one of the cadets last week when we left Wasena, she said, Miss Janie, one of the kids told me today that I'm really good at explaining fractions, and that she gets it now. She said, it made me feel so good. I'm actually doing something. And I said, yes. You know, that's the rewarding part of our everyday
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about in education.
And we talk about, Ms. Duncan, a national teacher shortage. There's no secret, and Roanoke City Schools is not immune to that.
Correct.
This program is helping, but it's not a cure-all, is it?
Absolutely not. But we know that the graduates that will come back to us to teach for us know our students, appreciate our students, have been one of our students, understand the complexities, and are going to be very well prepared to be outstanding teachers in Roanoke City Public Schools.
As you see the current crop of potential teachers, do you see some actually going further and pursuing a teaching and education career?
Most definitely. I actually have 4 or 5 right now who, you know, they said, this is it, this is what I'm doing, I'm going all in, I'm ready for it. So I have several who want to be, you know, full-time teachers. I have several, like you said, who want to work as instructional assistants still for Roanoke City.
And talk about the importance of getting that sort of that taste in high school. Do you think those 4 or 5 that you mentioned would feel as strong if they just waited until college to pursue this?
Definitely not. I think you need to actually be able to get in the classroom, see the kids, work with the kids, and hear the comments like, oh, I'm so happy to see you again. Thank you for teaching me this. You know, you're doing such a good job. And that's what, you know, gets the cadets excited about the program and pursuing education.
And Ms. Duncan, this is not, you know, some school systems have this, but this is pretty unique in many ways, right? Or at least
It
for the
is,
Roanoke
especially
Valley.
the collaboration between Virginia Western Community College, TAP Head Start, and we're just very thankful that we have these opportunities. And again, it's much the same way it is in many of our areas in career and technical education. The community really supports us, rallies around us, and they want our students to be successful because that makes the Valley more successful.
Well, good deal. Congratulations on the program. I hope it only grows from here, and wish your students all the best, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey.
I like your outfit.
Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. You look ridiculous.
Dude, where'd you get that shirt, Goodwill?
I did, actually. Yeah, I like it. Don't you have something better to do?
The spring musical season is upon us, and we have a preview today of the James Madison Middle School production.
Yes.
Joining us is Whitney Johnson. She's the proud principal of James Madison Middle, as well as Kyle LaFollette. He's a science teacher here at Madison, but also sort of helps out with the musical. So you're doing, Miss Johnson, Shrek Jr.?
Shrek Jr., the musical, yes.
Tell me about it. Why?
We're excited. Well, we have done 3 years of Disney musicals, and so we decided to, you know, kind of go off-road of Disney, and we're doing a DreamWorks production, very similar to the cartoon, but a whole lot more musical numbers within the musical.
So Kyle, remind us, it's been, what, maybe 15 years since the first movie came out. What's the storyline about?
Well, the young ogre who doesn't quite fit in kind of happens his way through the woods and meets some interesting characters, and they go on a journey to find love, I guess, and some other interesting characters along the way. But it's got very good music, different from the cartoon version, of course, but it's very catchy.
How are your students responding to this? Because they probably weren't born when the first movie came out, right?
They
Do they know
really
Shrek?
weren't. There's quite a few of our students, once we announced it, had never seen the cartoon. So I think that they have gone back. Also, the Broadway musical is on Netflix right now, so that they can actually see the Broadway actors perform the show. It's a great show. It has a wonderful message. Kyle and I both loved that. You know, it's just about individuality, and students, middle school students, can really relate to that topic.
And maybe expand on that. These are middle school students, but talk about the talent. I mean, we assume that, well, they're only talented when they get to high school, but this is about developing them at a young age, right?
Yeah, really for the past few years, we've been blown away by the talent at this age. Many times watching the shows, I feel we forget that they are just middle school. Talented singers, very talented actors, actresses, and dancers even. It doesn't necessarily feel like middle school age. It really doesn't.
Because your program is now established, is it difficult to find students who want to be part of these productions? Are you turning people away?
Oh,
or
we're
what?
turning people away.
Wow.
We could have. Kyle and I laughed. We could have cast this musical 3 different times.
Oh, wow.
So it really, we had so many students that wanted to be a part of it. This is the largest cast. We keep getting bigger. Our cast is of 62 kids this year.
Oh, wow.
It's a big group.
And if the public is watching, why should they see this show?
It's great. They will be amazed at the talent from this age group of kids especially. But it has comedy in it. It's got emotion in it. The music is catchy. Yeah, it's visually pleasing. So it gets all the senses.
Now I know your productions are usually known for their costumes. So how are you doing the ogre?
Oh, well, it's a little bit of a secret. We are going,
right.
But for his headpiece, we are going with a company that's going to do a head mask cow out of latex. Yeah. So.
Now you've been doing productions now, Miss Johnson. Is this your 5th or 6th year?
This is our 5th production at Madison.
And
started with Annie.
And they sell out every year.
They sell out every year.
And so what is it that you think brings people to want to, or has people wanting to keep coming back every year?
I think that they see that it's a great product. And, you know, our students really, that's a feather in the cap for James Madison. They are very proud of their musical theater performance, and they're super proud that we sell out and that are able to, you know, bring this message to the community. So we're something we're really proud of and excited that we can be a part of it.
And tell us about opening night. That's sort of a special night for the Roanoke City Public Schools Education Foundation, correct?
That would be the Thursday performance.
Okay.
The March 22nd performance, that's the Thursday evening. Yes, is going to be a Roanoke City Foundation performance where all the proceeds do go to benefit the Foundation for the Arts.
And the foundation, as you mentioned, sort of funds programs as well as trips that have to do with arts, which is sort of what these kids are doing, right?
Right. Yes. They've helped us this year, even with sending some students to New York and doing some other great things with the kids in our community.
All right, Kyle, so how do I buy tickets? And I would imagine I should get them early, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can. You can buy tickets through our students will be selling tickets. They'll be bringing home envelopes and selling to family, friends, and whoever. And then you can also buy them here at James Madison with our secretary in normal school business hours. Am I forgetting anything else?
Yes, they will be at the door, but that's
you don't
normally we do sell in advance. So call Madison, and we'll make sure we hold some for anyone who wants to come at will call, or they can pick them up here.
Okay, and we'll have the dates here listed of all the performances, and we should mention, even though this is a Madison Middle production, it actually takes place at Patrick Henry High School.
Yes,
so.
Opening night, March 21st, and it goes until the Saturday.
And our other middle schools, Lucy Addison as well as Woodrow Wilson Middle School, are also staging productions, and you can find all those dates and times and the names of the productions on our website. Just go to our Fine Arts calendar. Well, I'm looking forward to the show.
Come see us. Yes. Great.
Shrek Jr. the musical.
Shrek Jr.
Sign me up. I'm willing to buy a ticket.
All right.
All right?
Perfect.
Good luck.
Maybe put some ears on you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Don't mind the mud. You'll get used to it.
This place is a dump.
It isn't fit for a pig.
Hello? We can hear you. We are standing right here. Look, you all read Lord Farquaad's decree.
Yeah, we read it. All fairy tale creatures have been banished from the kingdom of Duloc. All fruitcakes and freaks are hereby evicted.
All right, when I call your name, step forward. Pinocchio the puppet.
I'm not a puppet, I'm a real boy.
That's your patch of mud down there. Gingerbread man? I said gingerbread man? Anyone seen the gingerbread man?
He's been missing for days.
Yes, that's right.
Dumped on a swamp. Man, I tell you, sometimes being a fairy tale creature sucks pines. Life is disappointing. Whoa, is what I know. Outed by my nose, that's just how it goes. For poor Pinocchio, story of my life, always doomed to fail, cheated by a fox, swallowed by a whale. That's the story of my life, oh yeah, that's the story of my life.
Three Bears, take your spot over there by that sign. No, that's too far. Too close. Yes, just right. Wicked witch.
Strife is never ending.
Peter Pan.
Banished from the town.
Only Dr.
They broke my magic wand. They blew our condos down. Life is but a witch hunt.
Mama Bear.
Mama's in distress. They ridiculed my hat. They said that we were bad.
They labeled me a fashion mess because I wore a granny dress.
Story of my life, booted from the bar, the party's off the hook.
I flew into a wall. That's the story of my life.
And remember, punch back in the kingdom and you will be exiled.
That's the story of my life. I always dreamed I'd get a happy ending.
And it's right here, not how it goes.
I always dreamed I'd get an ever after. If this is it, it blows, it blows, it blows. Story of my life, always double crossed, always in the woods, always getting lost, always on the ropes, always up the creek, always kicked around and treated like a freak. That's the story of my life, yes sir. That's the story of my life, boy band. That's the story of my life. Crap!
There's a myth out there that somebody who's using drugs is engaged in a selfish habit, that they're not hurting anybody, and I can say that's not true at all. Every drug user has somebody that they've hurt, that they've not been there for because they're under the influence, or they're using their time and money to obtain drugs. I see a lot of people in the probation office who steal from family members, steal from friends and businesses, so I can truly say that a drug addiction and drug habit hurts everybody.
There was a lot of excitement this year with the Winter Olympics in South Korea, and Preston Park Elementary sort of had its own version. Here to talk about it is Principal Fisher, as well as John Richardson. Mr. Richardson is the instructional coach here at Preston Park Elementary. I believe this was your idea. This was sort of the Olympics with a twist, right?
Yes, sir. We actually, it's the third grade and I, we had a chance to collaborate. They were following an SOL trail of the ancient Greeks. And so we were able to incorporate the study of the ancient Greek Olympics with the contemporary Olympics of today. It was really exciting. We had a chance to read aloud, and we had a chance to do, of course, the social studies, but also we were incorporating some science and a lot of fun in it. So it was a good time was had by all.
So a lot of fun, Mr. Fisher. Talk us through the actual events or events. What went on?
Well, we had several categories during the Olympics event itself. I know there was a javelin throw, there was the ever-popular chariot race.
Oh, yes.
There was the foot race, there was discus. There was the discus, and so we had several events that were led up to with classroom heats, and then the finals were held in the gym during that particular day. While they were leading up to the events within the classrooms, there were also, like I said, heats where the students graphed the results, and so math was incorporated into the science of the events themselves.
What was, and by the way, we should mention these were chariot races, but with modern twists, right? We didn't actually have horses in here and so forth.
We had the little rolly carts, and the kids would sit on them, and their horses would pull them with the big pool noodles. It was fun. The biggest, and I guess culminating event was the tug of war. That's right. Between the classes themselves. And it was interesting and fun how competitive things like the tug of war can get between teachers and classes.
So in the classroom, before the actual events, what did they learn? And I would imagine the Olympics in many ways was completely different all those years ago, but in some ways similar to what we see today, right?
Absolutely. We had a chance to read a Magic Treehouse book of Jack and Annie, Hour of the Olympics. And it was fun because in the context of that reading, they talked about, first of all, how the Olympics came about and how they, in a sense, were segregated for the boys themselves. And they were a democracy, so of course we had to vote in each of the classes, should we let girls in? And of course, overwhelmingly and smartly, we allowed girls in. And so we chose our own Olympic events, you know, what would be appropriate for us. Working with Ms. Amber Fouts, too, who's our PE teacher, who is wonderful and so accommodating. She helped organize some of that around what she does as well.
What was your reaction to seeing how seriously the students took it and sort of embraced the whole concept?
It's always great to see students get engaged with what they're learning, and Mr. Richardson does a great job with really bringing the fun to life, and that's what his role is with the teachers, who also day in and day out do that. But when you see the students smiling and laughing and having fun with it, and at the same time learning about the history of the ancient Greeks, as well as the math and science incorporated with everything, that's what really brings it to life and makes it fun for us.
You know, it's a lot of fun, but you're hoping when they're taking their tests, the students in, I guess, the spring, that they'll remember some of this. And I guess I'm wondering, do you see a correlation between doing this fun stuff and, yes, they do remember it once it's on the test?
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things. I'm kind of long in the tooth. I've been in public education now for more than 40 years. To me, Justin, the things that resonate most are the things that mean something to them. It's so neat because we'll have read that book, and the kids will come up to me or Mr. Fisher and go, look, I just got this book on Hercules. I just got this book on this. They're doing outside reading. They're going home and telling their folks about it. So, yeah, we're pretty sure that those are the kind of things that foster that love for learning. So when they get to tests, that's kind of like money in the bank. Those are experiences that they had, and they can actually glean more from the test because they have this as background, and it's kind of fun.
And you could have done this lesson any time of the year, but you chose to go inside with the Winter Olympics. Is this something a lot of your students are talking about and they were watching as they were going?
Yes, certainly they have. You know, of course, as they're coming in every day, they're talking about what they saw on TV the night before at the Olympics and how that can coincide with what they did here at the school. And you know, whereas of course in the Olympics it's country versus country, here we had class versus class, and they took on the roles of ancient Greek cities as well, named after the teachers. And then we played the role of Greek gods. I played the role of Zeus, and Mr. Richardson played the role of Poseidon, I believe it was.
Yes.
And so we were dressed up in ancient Greek attire, just like the students were too. So so we try to certainly bring that the Olympic events here to Preston Park.
It was a lot of fun, but also a serious note. And so my question to you all, are you going to do it again next year, or are you going to wait 4 years for the Olympics to come back? Or I guess you could do it 2 years with the Summer Olympics, but
I think we'll definitely do it again next year.
It's funny because we had a couple of second grade classes in attendance, and they've already started to talk about it. We can't wait till next year. And that's a lot of fun too. And I would like to say that all of the teachers, this is the third grade thing that we've done, but the exciting thing for me as a professional is to be at a place like Preston Park where all of the teachers are so open to doing creative and wonderful things that, again, that resonate with the kids. I know sometimes we get test fever, but everybody here has a heart of gold, and they know that what is it all about is the kids and their learning. And I think we had a chance to do that here.
Yeah, good. It was a great event, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll be right back.
Surf by the award-winning RVTV.org, the official website for Roanoke Valley Television Channel 3. The site features new content like the Media Center, where you can view selected RVTV programming. Also find RVTV's daily lineup, information on RVTV shows, a photo gallery, and even a Notify Me sign-up to keep you posted on upcoming RVTV events. It's all at RVTV.org, the official website for government and educational television in the Roanoke Valley. RVTV.
Every third grader in Roanoke City Public Schools is taking a field trip to the Science Museum of Western Virginia, which is located in downtown Roanoke. And here to tell us all about it is Tom Fitzpatrick. He is the supervisor of science for the division. What are these field trips all about?
Well, this field trip is called Galaxy Explorers. So in their day in the Science Museum, the kids are learning what it would be like to start a colony on a new planet. So as we're looking at exploration, as we're kind of trying to merge some social studies into some science, they are learning about what we would need on a planet, the oxygen, the food. They're learning about predators and prey. They're learning how to make energy, how to produce electricity from wind, because that planet might have wind, but it may not have fossil fuels. So they're kind of looking at some of our science standards and figuring out an interactive way that we can put all those pieces together to tell a clear story.
And they visit different stations at the Science Museum. Tell us about one of them and maybe the activities they participate.
As they spend their day, they'll visit the planetarium and they'll look at some of the planets, hypothetical planets that we might be able to explore. In another station, they are working with wind turbines. So they're designing a wind turbine that will produce the most electricity. In another station, they are doing an active game where they are either a predator or a prey or an herbivore or a carnivore. And so they're learning some vocabulary as they figure out how many things this environment can support.
As I was watching the students in one of the activities, it seems to be encouraging teamwork and critical thinking. Is that true, and what am I missing?
No, you're right on. Part of where we want to go with this is to look at what they call 21st century skills. Can you work as a part of a team? Can you accomplish a goal working as a group of people working together? So, for example, in their wind turbine project, they've got to work in a group of 2 or 3 or 4 students to make the turbine that produces the most electricity.
And this is certainly an innovative and a fun activity or a trip for the students, but it's something that they're going to see down the line or down the road on the SOLs, correct?
Yes, absolutely. They will see some of this vocabulary, some of the questions in their 4th and 5th grade SOL testing. And so we're trying to build some confidence in a different way to learn the standards.
This is something we couldn't have done without the Science Museum. Talk about the importance of community partnerships like this one.
The Science Museum of Western Virginia has been a great partner with us. They offer us a contract with some reduced fees, and Hannah Weiss at the museum and I have worked together to build this program. And we have found that that works really well when the two groups talk about, okay, what's going to work best for the kids? How do we best use the facilities? This program is a combination of their staff and Roanoke City Schools staff, where we all come to the museum and work together. And that has been a great partnership with the museum over the years.
And we mentioned that every 3rd grader in the district will be going on this field trip. There's no cost to the student, correct?
No.
I mean,
all the costs are paid for by the school system. No cost to the students. We just have to hope that it doesn't snow as much as it has been.
Yeah, well, it happens from time to time, right?
It does.
But it's certainly, your reaction from the students and the teachers is a good one of the ones that the students have gone on the trip so far, right?
Yes, we've been getting good feedback that this trip is working. They like the way all the pieces fit together, as opposed to just, let's go to a museum and wander around. There's a story that we're telling as we go through this museum.
Well, it sounds like a good trip and something the students are really enjoying, so congratulations on that. Okay?
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Did you know that it takes 12 to 20 years for a cigarette butt to decompose? Cigarette butts thrown on the ground or out the window are litter, and most wash into our waterways, polluting streams and harming stream life. Cigarette butts can also be a fire hazard. Extinguish cigarette butts in ash cans and ashtrays. Litter is preventable, so remember, No ifs, ands, or buts. Don't litter.
That's this month's show. We'll see you again soon.